Day 3 of San Francisco's training camp just wrapped up. Tomorrow they'll have it off, but today we're going to focus on Brock Purdy and the quarterback battle between him, Trey Lance, Sam Darnold, and Brandon Allen. Today, Brock Purdy looks much better than his rather poor performance yesterday. He went 2 of 9 yesterday with an interception. Brock Purdy today went 6 of 11 and had pretty good velocity and hit people down the field. An example was when he hit Deebo Samuel 25 yards down the field. He was much better than he was yesterday, and this is what I really wanted to highlight yesterday. I said that Brock Purdy's arm looks basically the same strength, or at least I couldn't tell any difference between the velocity of his balls between last year and this year. And today he's kind of proving that it was just mainly rust on him yesterday. I mean, if you think about it, Trey Lance, Sam Darnold, and all these guys have gotten plenty of reps with these wide receivers during this offseason, but Brock Purdy hasn't had that luxury. Rather, yesterday was the first time we've actually seen them working together. And while a completion percentage of around 55% isn't the most desirable thing, what is desirable is seeing how Brock Purdy improved from yesterday to today, and he didn't regress. I mean, the big thing would be if Brock Purdy slid back even farther than yesterday and was just looking awful today. That would be a major concern. But simply put, he didn't. He improved, and that's an indicator that he just has a lot of rust, which makes sense since he didn't really throw a football in the team setting like that since the NFC Championship game. Another point that must be mentioned for all these quarterbacks is that the defenses usually do start a little bit quicker during training camp because the offense has to get their timing and rhythm down. And this is a much neglected fact, and you will often see the offense improve as training camp goes along, and I expect this season will be no differently. So moving off the quarterback that took all the number 1 reps, we need to go to the quarterbacks taking number 2 reps in Trey Lance and Sam Darnold. Trey Lance didn't look good today, frankly. He looked worse than maybe Brock Purdy looked yesterday. He went 1 of 4 and didn't hit easy passes. It must be noted though that 4 passes isn't a huge sample size to judge a quarterback on, but with that being said, he was arguably the worst quarterback out there today. Moving on to Sam Darnold, he did better than Trey Lance, but maybe not as good as Brock Purdy. He went 4 of 7, and this wasn't against the number 1 defense with all the number 1s out there. It was against number 2 defense. He did a couple of good passes, including a pass to Mitchell and Jennings. Moving on to Brandon Allen, he also didn't perform the greatest today, going only 1 of 4. So this is where we need to talk about the quarterback competition and where the standings are right now. If I was Kyle Shanahan or the Niners quarterback coach, I would look at this situation and see Brock Purdy coming back from a major injury and improving from day 1 to day 2. That's encouraging, and I know what I have in Brock Purdy given the times he's played in the game, and I think that's where players usually improve the most. For these reasons, I still believe Brock Purdy is the number 1 quarterback, and also the Niners giving him all of the first team reps. But moving on to the second string quarterback battle spot, this is where things are getting a little bit more interesting. Trey Lance, I think, is the better quarterback in this spot, but recently Sam Darnold is playing better given today's performance, but he will need to continue to carry this out and look much more improved than a quarterback the Niners gave up 3 first-round picks for. So still, I have Trey Lance number 2 and then 3 Sam Darnold. However, there has been speculation going around the Niners now that Trey Lance might be traded to a team like Minnesota, and that would really make a whole lot of sense if Minnesota is trying to build for the future and the Niners are in win now mode. Maybe they could foster a deal for Kirk Cousins and get a 1-year contract to solidify the quarterback room. I don't know, that's just my initial thoughts for that rumor that I've heard kind of going around the web the last couple of days. I want to hear your thoughts though. What do you think the quarterback battle going into this season will behold us? Do you think Trey Lance will run away with this job? Is it Sam Darnold's job, or will Brock Purdy remain the starter? If I was to bet, I would say Brock Purdy would be the QB come week 1. And I think he's going to kill it this entire year if I'm real. If you guys did enjoy this video, it would mean a ton to me if you liked and subscribe. And as always, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day and weekend.